For you today?
The Kansas City Blues games, so I'm really excited. I know that both have a lot of talent, and the fact that they've made it this far really proves that. So I'm really psyched for this game.
Indeed. Last time we saw the Wolverines, they were playing the SOC Raptors, and they were down 19-0 right before halftime. Then they had to score a try right at the end, and then the SOC Raptors went scoreless in the second half, and the Wolverines cooked up a little something and won by a good 2 or 3 tries. Now we're here to see them again and see how they're going to go. Then, of course, the Kansas City Junior Blues, pretty good team, hardcore. They have some good forwards and some nice, strong backs. The backs for the Wolverines are a bit smaller, but they're also way quicker. So we will see how this matchup goes, because most of the time rugby, it's all about the matchup. Here's the whistle. Battle cry. And the ball's up and the game begins. Nice and high and deep, and it started already on with a tackle on the number 6 with KC, Tally. And they get to a forward pod again. Getting foot by foot. They get it out to their backs. Long pass out to the 12. Now they got some good ball possession. They're keeping possession of the ball. They're not making as many meters, but they are keeping possession of the ball, which is a key factor. Now they kick it deep, and it's in Wolverine territory. And it's a 50-22. A beautiful kick from the number 10 on Kansas City, Vince Jacoby. And it'll be a line out for Kansas City.
We've already seen some great technique so far in the game. Lots of good tackling, lots of good taking holes in the defensive line, and then an awesome kick there. Awesome 50-22, and then good handling at the lineout. They keep possession.
And they makes a good run off there, right about, the 5-meter line. And they get to the forward pod. Poley gets tackled down. Now they get to another forward. The serve will call a knock on. Scrum to Kansas City. It seems like there was a bit of a mishap there in that last play. When he caught the ball, looks like it was tipped forward by one of the Wolverines players. He wasn't able to hang on of it. That'll be a scrum down to Kansas City. First scrum of the match. See how they hold off. Aiden Martinez puts the ball in. And it is 1. They get to the opposite by number 13. Tackled into touch. Good tackling from the Wolverines. Good goal line defense, because Nauer had a pretty good run there at the beginning. And it looks like there is a nice bump into touch, was saved from a try. Not allowing the first points on the board, but it will be a Wolverines line out, being thrown in by Prasad. Received by Bailey, and they pass it out. Kick. Bounces outside of 22, bounces nice and high. Picked up by Matai Tonga. Matai Tonga picks up the ball and gains quite a few meters. He gets to a forward. Big man number 3, Kology. More forwards going on. Some tall guys. Bailey didn't really make any ground there, but he held on to the ball. Another forward. Get it out to the backs. There's already some quick moving from the number 6, Dylan Blank, down the field. Is he getting caught up too? They're going to try to tackle him into the touch. Is he in there? No, he's not. There's a quick rucking over. Now they got some quick thinking. Prasad takes it in. It's getting closer. Closer and closer. Here's the 8-man. All off that kick. And Matai Tonga getting the ball. And now they're right back down on their side of the field. But here's a bit of a mishap. It's picked up by Kansas City. And a nice tackle from Matai Tonga. They kick it. And it bounces out 50-22 yet again for Kansas City. 2 in a row right off the bat. An amazing kicking game here from both teams. Kansas City doing a really good job mobilizing the 50-22 option, getting that ball down there, helping it bounce out. We did that on the right side and on the left side. The Wolverines also have the good kicking, and they get it to their quick players on the wing, which is very good, especially that high bounce, which allowed Matai Tonga, gave him time to get it. But it's stolen by the Wolverines. And they got to get it out. They get it to their forward. Here's Blank. Out to the winger. He goes down the field. He can't really catch him. Here he goes down the field. He goes. Ivan Nisa. Nisa will put one down for the try. What a run from Nisa. We saw this in the game yesterday. 2 great runs. Both were which are about 50 meters or so. And here he is again. That boy can really carry the mail, as some people would say. But it will be a difficult kick. But it's worth it. Getting that try, getting that energy boost right off the bat. As we saw the last time the Wolverines played, they fed off that energy boost, getting that kickoff yet again, running it back in, keeping possession. Once they lost possession, it was a bit hazardous. As we saw the SSC Raptors when they had the possession of the ball in the beginning of that first game.
What's awesome about this game is that already we've seen a lot of turnovers, both teams having a lot of possession and then lots of time on defense. So it's really evening out, and we're really seeing both sides of both teams, which is awesome. Usually, at least in this tournament, one team remains dominant for at least the first half, and then sometimes the other team will come back for an upset. But usually we really just see one side of each team, and this is awesome that we get to see both so early on.
Bit of a hard kick. It's high. It's mighty. It's just outside the uprights. Got the distance, got the height. Wasn't quite able to knock it down. But a good effort. Kansas City will now kick off. The Wolverines.
Yeah, yesterday the Wolverines definitely started off a little bit tired. They weren't hitting quite as hard as they were the second half, but they really brought the energy to the first half of this game, which gives me a little bit of doubt. Are they going to be able to keep it up the entire game? And that's definitely a question that they're going to have to answer.
The ball doesn't go 10 meters, so there'll be a scrum 50. These players from Kansas City. Close to, speaking of Kansas City, though, they're from Kansas City. I guess that's how it works.
I'd presume so. That sounds pretty natural.
It's only logical. But there's a crouch bind set call. And they put it in for the first scrum for these lads. And the ball's back out. It's kicked up by the number 9 for KC. He's working to get the ball. And they do get their hands on it. What a play by Martinez. And there's a knock on and a scrum to Kansas City. Aiden Martinez with a brilliant play right off the scrum. Gaining meters and a scrum at the 5. Right on side.
Yeah, as we can see, one sloppy pass, one defender in the right place can really cost you a lot. It looks like almost 40 meters here. Yeah, that's really going to be a thorn in the side of the Wolverines. They crouch, they bind, they set, and they're called back up.
I don't think I heard a bit of a set. I heard a crouch and a bind, but looks like the bind wasn't very. Sir didn't like it. It was kind of nasty, I guess you could say. It was not his cup of tea.
No, when you've got a sir that is as safety-oriented and just a great sir like Mr. Justin Hale that we have sirring this game, then you're sure that everything's going to be spick and span and how it's supposed to be.
Bit of some clumsy back play here. But Chichella will pick it up and they get out to their winger. Bowen, nice tackle from the 13. Joe Latu on the Wolverines causing that knock on. There will be a scrum to the Wolverines. There's a bit of clumsy back play there. Some miscommunication probably. Owen Chichella was able to pass it off to Tommy Bowen, but he got caught in some traffic. Wasn't able to execute anything. And a nice tackle at the waist, which made him fold like a pancake and drop the ball in the process. So second scrum here for the Wolverines. And it's passed back out to their back line. Some switcheroos going on as Namani will tackle down. Patai will pass it out to Bifoletti.
Some strong counter-rucking, but they weren't quite fast enough. The Wolverines pulled it out and then got off a kick. Nice deep kick, too.
Chase. As Martinez underneath it. He's going to try to turn on some shifty. He goes to the kick. Some body checking. And it's being chased. Tommy Bowen's on the case. Tommy Bowen down the field. Tommy Bowen. Try! Tommy Bowen with an amazing run off that kick. It didn't matter if anyone's body checked, but that was an amazing run. And he'll go in for the try right on the sideline. Tommy Bowen.
That's the rugby that we're all looking for. You get a try by the Wolverines only to be answered a couple minutes later. You're seeing that the KC Blues are really not letting anything get in their way. Both teams are really hitting it hard and not falling down after anything. So I'm hoping that's going to go through the entire match. And that's really what everybody's looking for.
Well, speaking of a beautiful kick, it was at like the 40-meter line. And he places it to where it bounces right in front of the try zone. And it's just a straight line 100-meter, 50-meter dash for Tommy Bowen. And the other Wolverines were at a different angle, so it would have taken them longer. Tommy Bowen just had a freebie sprint down the highway. And they couldn't really quite catch up to him.
No, that was definitely perfectly executed. Anyways, they line up for the kick. Taking his time. There's a little bit of a breeze.
Not an exceptionally hard kick, but difficult nonetheless. And it will be short and a bit too far to the right, maybe 5 feet out. But a good effort, so the score will be 5-5. But conversions are very important. To have a really good kicker is a huge upside. You can win games that you're not supposed to. For example, if your team is down a try, but you've made all of your conversion kicks, let's say it's 3 tries. One team has 4 tries, you have 3 tries, but you made all of your conversion kicks. You're still up by 1. So conversions can be very important in games.
Yeah, it can definitely turn into a kicking game. Anyways, the kick off.
An immediate breakaway from number 13, Nauer. And he looks like he's running back and forth. But they get it to Perks. He gets tackled down. Martinez picks it up. And he gets it to the forward pod. Ball's out. Not releasing the tackle player. So it will be a penalty awarded to KC. Martinez consulting the coach if he should kick it into touch or go for points. Looks like there was a scrum. There might be a little bit of an option there. Not sure.
Anyways, it'll be the 5th scrum of the match. 2 have gone to the Wolverines, and this is the 3rd one for the Blues. So far, neither team has been able to steal a scrum, so maybe the Hookers will go for that, just because, you know, the Wolverines are within their territory, almost right at the 22.
Martinez gets the ball out. And there's a chip kick. Mateo Tonga gets his hands around it. Kicks it right on back. Straight to Martinez, and he drops it. A nice little line drive from Mateo Tonga right in front of the 40-meter line to get the scrum. And speaking of Kansas City, there is Premier Rugby Sevens is committed to developing the next generation of rugby talent and expanding the sport across the nation. Through upcoming camps and events nationwide, young players can enhance their skills and reach the next level. Join PR Sevens for their inaugural development camp in Kansas City from July 23rd to 25th, where you'll work on rucking, scrumming, kicking, tackling, and more. To grow your skills and learn more about upcoming events in your area, visit pr7s.com for more info. Scrum is won by the men in red. And there's a penalty advantage given to the Wolverines. And a nice strong run from Latu. They get it out to their backs again. Pop pass. Ball's dropped. Looks like the serve will go back to the penalty advantage for a high tackle. Quick tap. The offload to Blank. And they're rucking over. Ball's out and it's dropped. Some nerves from Fakava. 2 knock-ons, but the first knock will be played. There will be a scrum to Kansas City. The Junior Blues are a subset to the Senior Blues, who is the Kansas City's Major League Rugby team. And so hopefully some of these players will get to play professional rugby at some point. I believe the coach for one of the coaches for the Kansas City Junior Blues actually did play on the Blues back in the day.
Yeah, and then speaking of Major League Rugby, a couple members of the Chicago Hounds have come down to watch the games and be here, so that's pretty cool at the Moose Lodge Rugby Grounds.
Scrums in. What's the big collapse? The Cyril will call it okay. And they get out to the backs. Nice strong run for the number 12. Chip kick straight into the hands of a Wolverine, and this Wolverine is Ivan Nisa, and you don't want to mess with him. Pakava into contact. They'll get the ball back out. Pretty good run there from Fa'almu. Ball's they got. They get to Latu. The ruck over. Nemani will decide to get the ball out. They get the Blank. Prasad trying to get the ruck, and a good ruck, but he wasn't able to get him off. Not releasing, and a poach from Westfield. Looks like they're going to go for touch. You get it to their power kicker. And he sends that bad boy right around the 40-meter line. Line out at the 40 for the Kansas City Blues. Now they run in, get the line out, pop it out to Martinez with a servo call. Not straight. There'll be a scrum to the Wolverines yet again.
Yeah, it really stinks. The breeze was pretty much dead right before he threw that line out, and then of course as soon as he launched it, it picked up a little bit, and yeah, it always stinks when well, obviously he didn't mean to throw a not straight, but then because the breeze did push it, there's nothing that the sir can do, and you just gotta roll with it.
Ball's out. Hands to Damani. Passes drop there. With a tie. It'll be picked up by a teammate. Here's Pavatelli. Pafeletti takes it into the contact. Prasad. Box kick. The ball bounces high. Missed tackle. But a nice little run there from the number 12, Taylor. Ball's back out. Cut inside. Now we kind of lost the ball there. But it's picked up by Tolly. Forward pod. Nelson gains quite a few meters there. The support's right behind. Martinez pulls it out. He gets a little blue scrum cap. He breaks some tackles, cuts inside. Right in front of the 22 now. A nice hard run from Pauly. Martinez. Long pass out. Kind of a bumbler to Nauer. And they get it out to their backs. And yep, we saw that one coming in from the side and not rolling away. It's 2-1. Martinez will do the quick tap and a nice strong tackle from Wolverine. Well, that's an hour. Picked up again. And there's some good rucking here from the Blues. Nelson. Now it looks like there's some difficulty in gaining territory here for the Blues with some nice strong defense from the Wolverines. Penalty, diving in the ruck, well, collapsing the ruck. You can't just jump on somebody like that. I don't think that's very legal. It's quite lethal, but I don't think it's legal. But they can go for the kick to touch. Looks like it went up the side of his boot a bit, and it'll be right in front of the 22.
Yeah, the wind was against him there. You can hear the it picking up in our mics, maybe. But yeah, it just he gained a couple meters, but perhaps not as much as he would have liked.
Side the boot's a real killer sometimes.
Anyways, I'm certain that the Wolverines can make something off of this line out. They usually do. They're rather good at being inside their territory and then making lots of ground by using first their forwards and then their backs.
Sir will give the not straight call. It'll be a scrum to the Kansas City right in front of the 22. Those little fuzzy white things flying through the sky. I think they're unidentified flying objects. Bunch of UFOs that came from space to distract everybody, but they're also helping out by showing which way the wind is blowing, and I hope that picks it up on the camera so you can see as well. But here's a nice little run there from Taylor. Martinez. A nice catch from Nelson. And the ball stolen. Prasad gets in there and down and dirty gets the ball out. And they'll call the knock on. There'll be a scrum for the Wolverines.
Yeah, we've been seeing a couple of scrums, maybe a bit more than we'd like to. It seems like there have been a lot of forced knock-ons and a little bit of butterfingerism.
Well, it looks like they get the ball out quite fine. And a chip kick. Is it going to be another look at bounds? Matai Tonga with another one. And he pops it out to a teammate. Right in time. Here's Prasad. Cuts inside. Looks like he just morphed right through everybody. He gets a Gage. Bit of a miss pick there. And a steal from the Blues. Gage is definitely not thrilled, but there will be an in from the side. Penalty called. Martinez with a quick tap. They get it to Jacoby. Chip kick. Matai Tonga on the case. He'll pick it up. And he'll kick it right on back. Bit of a slow bounce. Martinez getting some time to rev up. Starts out kind of slow, then decides to do some work. Now a bit of a missed pass. It's been a bit sloppy now. But now it looks like the Wolverines are back on the defensive end of things. Tolly breaks the line. A nice run, getting them in great position, and a nice slow put down so that his teammates would be in time there, but it looks like an unfortunate knock on from Nelson. But that's okay. The next matchup is going to be the club finals against two teams, of which I'm not aware of currently. So it's basically pointless for me saying this right now, but
hey, it fills a dead space. I think that's fine.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. So he calls up the scrum. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, choosing the guy who's going to be picky at. Looks like the front rows, something wrong with the front rows again. The front rows are the most important part on keeping the scrum stable and keeping it moving in one direction. So they also have the biggest risk in there, so he tries to keep the front rows up. But here's a little chip kick. And immediately hit by Jacoby. Tonga will get it and then pass it back off to Puamau. He's just trying to get through the line. He's tackled down. Passes the ball out. Another down the sideline. Turnover. And then Tommy will steal the ball and get tackled. And now it's back to the forward work of the Kansas City Junior Blues. Penalty to The Blues not rolling away. Jacoby's looking to kick the touch. Listen, he'll go for points. Now this is a decently placed kick towards the center, but it's also a tad deep. So we'll see if he can hit this one. If he can hit this one, it's going to be a big advantage, putting him up by 3. And they will be able to receive the kickoff again, so it'll be their possession of the ball. Eight-man, Gagrich going to be doing the kicking. I'd assume he's probably got a boot. He's probably pretty accurate as well. This kick right here could mean a game. And it's through the uprights. And that is halftime. This a way to end at halftime for the KC Blues with a made kick up by 3. Kansas City Junior Blues versus the Wolverines. This is the Tier 2 National Championship halftime. I'm Elijah Hall.
I'm Malachi Martin, and we'll see you after these messages.
I chose to take Thorne supplements over another brand because they're sports backed. The products are also top of the line and they also taste great. It's important that the substances athletes take are tested for banned substances. One, because you want to make it a fair, even game, especially with the other players. And you want to make sure what you're putting into your body as an athlete is clean, researched, science-based, and it's healthy for you. So you want to put good in and get good out.
Yeah, Thorne has helped me a lot, especially in the last couple of months. I've had to pack on some weight to be able to play in this league, and I think taking creatine and protein every day and adding in a couple other things has made me a better athlete, a bigger athlete, stronger athlete, and just overall prepared me well. So I take creatine every morning when I first wake up. It's kind of like my checklist or part of my routine. I usually have a protein shake, a Thorne whey as well, so I usually just throw it in there or throw it in with some BCAAs. Whey protein definitely makes my life easier because I can come straight off the gym, straight off the pitch, and it takes 30 seconds to mix up a protein shake and get down some extra protein.
To understand the game in its fullest, you need to understand what's happening to the ball.
Gilbert is synonymous with every major event that's happened in our sport.
The ball is a conductor of the orchestra. We put a tiny microchip inside the ball. We're getting location information from the ball, speed, spin, distance, trajectory, hang time.
The technology and the innovation behind this ball is truly a game changer.
My name is Alex Goff, and I am passionate about the sport that you love. I have been covering the sport of rugby in the United States for over 25 years. I've got a website. It's called golfrugbyreport.com. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on X. You can find me on Facebook as well. And you can find me on YouTube. And you'll find me talking to players in high school, players in college, international players, major stars, major movers and shakers in the game. We do rankings. I've been ranking college teams for over 20 years. I've been ranking high school teams for over 15. We have a little fun. We talk about some touchy subjects. We talk about the game you love. You find it at golfrugbyreport.com.
May is Mental Fitness Month.
Major League Rugby has partnered with USI Insurance Services and Looseheads
in a united effort to tackle the stigma.
Together, we are committed to changing the game
with the mission of placing a mental health lead in every rugby club
around the world.
Let's get ready. Major League Rugby is now.
This is the moment we waited for. Everything you want is right here. We gon' give them what it came for. We gon' take it up from last year.
The Rugby Network is giving you all the free MLR content you want, live and on demand. Never miss a hit, never miss a try, never miss your team. MLR on TRN. Never miss a match.
It's time to hit. It's time to pass. It's time to train, step, and tackle. It's time for tradition. And time for brotherhood. It's rugby time, America. It's rugby time, America.
Welcome to the second half of the national championships, the Wolverines versus the Kansas City Junior Blues. I'm Elijah Hall, and I'm back with Malachi Martin. Malachi, how are you in the second half?
The first half went extremely well, I'd say, for both teams, with the Junior Blues scoring a penalty kick for points, which is pretty awesome. So overall, I think it's going pretty well, with even though each team only has one try under their belt by way of the tries. I'd say that's pretty good, just on both teams having awesome defense, really being able to stop the other. And then each team also has pretty great offense, really be able to see if any holes open up and really exploiting that. So I'd say this is one of the best games I've seen so far at the tournament.
Indeed. I'm looking for a kickoff from Crowley. Sorry, not Crowley. I was thinking of Ireland's rugby team for a second. From Jacoby. And he kicks it out to number 4 on the Wolverines, Bailey. He'll get tackled down. The Wolverines start with a nice strong ruck. Here's Cole Double G's. Ball's out to the backs. Kind of a fumbled pass there, but it's picked up by Blank. And the ball was out. It was outside the back of the foot. Taking advantage of the situation, Kansas City Junior Blues, but then they go right on and knock it on. Not the ideal way to end it, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. So it'll be a scrum to the Wolverines. They'll get possession of the ball again. And they'll probably do a little kick and chase it with their speed. That's what they do. They put the ball in. And they pull it out and get it to the back. Slimani pass it down the back line. And they get it to a big Latu. And he turns on some speed and breaks the towel, and he passes it right off to Patai. And here's Matai Tonga with the Superman jump right in the try zone with the offload from Fatai. A good play and a good run, leaving Kansas City in the dust, showing that California has something going. We're seeing some good stuff here from the wings on the Wolverines. First try today was scored by Nisa with about a 50-meter run. They could not touch him. And now the other wing, number 11, Matai Tonga, will get this one, making it a decently easy kick for Puamau.
Yeah, what the Wolverines really have in their favor is that their forwards are a little bit like backs, and their backs are a little bit like forwards. They're doing a really good job of using both their forwards to really smash and pull the defenders in, and then also to use their backs once the defensive forwards have really made space for them, and then just really going fast and hard. And they've really got that on the Blues, who have good, strong forwards to really smash, but then they're not as strong using their back line. The Blues are definitely good with their back line, but just not quite as good as the Wolverines have proven to be so far.
Here's Puamau. Looks like the little wavy from Nelson was able to throw him off. And there will be a no kick. Good. Putting it at 10-8. Now, since because of the kick for points that Kansas City Junior Blues had, they're only down by 2. Another kick for points will put them in the lead. Kicking is very important. Blues will be kicking off yet again. And I will voice crack yet again. Ball's high and mighty. Got into the hands of good old Hokofonu. Ball's out to Nemani. And they get it to Fatai. Hot pass out. And a nice strong run from Puamau until he's finally tackled down. They get to the forwards. The line's broken by the other Fa'almu. Back to a forward pod. A nice strong run from Fakava. Prasad cuts inside, dives underneath somebody. Gains quite a few meters. Nemani to Latu. He's still pumping those legs, trying to get to the gain line. He doesn't quite get there, but they're close. Fakava again, a nice hard hit before he's finally brought down. To the 8-man, Paveletti. And then offloads to good old Hokofonu. Hokofonu for the try. And they put it down. The Wolverines in this beginning of the second half will get a 15-8 lead. And a good run.
Yeah, once again, the Wolverines are really showing how good they are at running, both with forwards and backs. It's really awesome to see them running. I particularly like it when the forwards running because they definitely punish the defensive line.
Puamau will be kicking again. This one's right in front of the uprights. Hopefully nice and easy for him. Number 18 on the Blues, looking to sub in. Probably after this kick, he'll go in. Hanov. It looks like the wavy worked again as the kick is off. Seems like Nelson's pretty good at that. But speaking of Nelson, looks like he'll be subbed off. Hanov coming in. And number 20, Brown, coming in as well.
You know, the one part of rugby that I don't think is appreciated nearly as much as it should be is the sirring and the assistant refs, the touch judge. I've been a touch judge for only one game, and that was enough to make me realize just how much they really put into the game. So there's definitely a big thank you to Justin Hale, the sir, and then his assistant refs, Mike Gronewald and Amanda Cross, both of whom I've seen ref, and they really do a fantastic job.
Nice one from Piffaletti. Then he gets to. That's got to bounce around. Ball's a bit off, and now a nice little stiff arm there. And the 13. There's some confusion and delay. Coaches going to get the Blues to slow it down a bit. A nice tackle from the number 3, Kolodjis. I've got some good defense here from the Wolverines. They'll be called for them to go back to the advantage for the knock-on. The score will remain the same. Thought they could get something going there. Now we got a scrum to Kansas City. Inside their 40. Close to the 22. See if their backs can get something going. Their backs aren't particularly quite fast, but they're stouter so they can break more tackles. Especially the backs of the Wolverines, who are smaller but quicker. So definitely an interesting matchup. So we'll call the penalty for the high tackle. Maybe he was just grabbing too high in the scrum or something like that. Something that wasn't safe, and the sir didn't like it, so he'll give them a penalty. And they're going to go for the kick to touch. Jacoby. A nice kick right at the 5-meter line. And Kansas City will have a chance to get something moving.
We'll ask both teams and their fans behind the press box for awards presentation. Thank you.
Looking for the line out. Hooker, Johannes Westfield throwing in for the Blues. But it's stolen by the Wolverines. Nice little run there by Kolodjis. They'll pass it out. The kick is blocked. St. Thomas, sorry, that's the Kansas City Blues. Will put one down for the try. Now that's something you do not see every day. A try like that of a block kick. And he puts one down. That's what you call a miracle play right now, right there.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those plays where the player might be said to be just a little bit divinely inspired. You know, you hit that forward and you might be like, whoa, just got hit with the ball. And then instead of, you know, being the he just kind of goes for it and touches it down. It's that's really just he's a rugby player right there. He's definitely in the mindset.
That's a man. Very good job to Connell. And since it was right between the uprights, more or less, it'll be a nice easy kick for their 8-man, Geikrik.
If he can make this, he can even out the score. 15-15 as it stands. It's 15-13.
And this is where the kicks really come in handy. As you see here, 15 points, and that was 3 tries from the Wolverines that they hadn't made a single kick. And here we have, if he makes this kick, they'll tie at the score, and they've only scored 2 tries, but the 2 kicks, and the kick's good, and that will tie at the score. This is why kicking is important. This is why the kicks are important. Down 2 tries, down by 1 try, but still able to keep the score tied with the kicking game. Now it is getting close. It is getting close. The electricity in the stands is insane. This is going to be one of those games where it's going to be one small play that's going to win it or lose it for either team. Kick did not go 5 meters. And there will be a scrum center for Kansas City. Looks like the kick went a bit off the side of his boot. Wasn't quite able to get quite under it.
Immediately after the match, behind the press box. Fans go around.
Quite an even matchup. Pretty close game for national championship, and this is what you see 2 of the best teams playing. This is what you get.
Yeah, both of these teams definitely earned every game on their journey to the Tier 2 championship.
Even though Wasilla did beat the Junior Blues by a try earlier in the season, but that was probably when they were younger and fresher and not as experienced as they are now in this national championship playing these games. Oh, fancy little offload from our boy Taylor. A nice tackle. And they pass it off. Back to Connell. Tackle down. Looks like they're looking for the poach. Fakava. They're going to get his hands around it, but he can't quite. Chip kick from the 8-man. Here's the chase. Pool Miles underneath it. Goes for the kick. Bounce, bounce, bounce. What's he going to be? Chased down. Matai Tonga will get the ankle, slows him down a bit, and his teammates are able to catch up and get the tackle down right inside the 40. Martinez gives it to Marquez Lopez. Ball out to the backs. Jacoby breaks a couple ankles. A chip kick into touch. Line out to a line out will go to the Wolverines. See how this one goes. Ball's up. And it's caught. Nobody's there, but they'll do a bit of a ground ball. Namani will get it out to Latu. Gets it, Latu. Still running with it. Doesn't go down without a bit of a fight there. Collapsing the ruck. There will be a penalty awarded to the Wolverines. We'll see if they're going to kick the touch. Now they go for the quick tap. To Pivoletti. Now they get it to Fakava. Fakava still going down the field. Long pass out to Nisa. Nisa picks it up. Nisa down the field. Turns on the afterburners and dives in for the try. A run from the Wolverines. They get it down. Nisa for 2 tries today. And a brilliant offload from Fakava.
Yeah, in the past couple phases, we've definitely seen a lot of really spicy offloads. Lots of interesting rugby playing going on. And then, of course, just basic hard running, which is really awesome to see. They're really pushing it out there.
Very descriptive, Malachi. I like it.
I know. I'm quite good at that.
Looks like there'll be another sub coming in for Kansas City Junior Blues, number 22, Bauer. But first, I'm going to see a kick from a new kicker here, Ulufonua. It's up, and it's a bit to the right. And now they're up by a try. Kansas City walking their way up. But now this is a dangerous position for the Wolverines. If Kansas City does score, they're going to have a chance at a conversion. And if they make a conversion, they'd be a win the game. They're going to have to keep, Wolverines are going to have to keep the ball for as long as they can. And the Junior Blues are going to have to work real hard to get a try right in the center of the uprights, to get a kick, to get a win. Ball's high. Caught by Fakava. Offload off the foot. Picked up by Hokafonu. Now they get it back to 8-man, Pivoletti. Prasad. Takes it in and gets a penalty for not clearing away. Fakava inside. Pivoletti with a nice ruck over. Now they get it to a forward, and he does a nice little run there. Koloji. Ball's tipped, and it's stolen by the Blues. Now this is what they needed at this moment. Now will take it into contact. And will gain the penalty. The sir goes to have a little chitty chat with the captains for the Wolverines. Ties back on. And Jacoby's going to kick into touch. Right in front of the 22 for a hopefully successful line out for the Kansas City Junior Blues. But we also have been seeing some good hands from the Wolverines stealing these lineouts that the Kansas City Blues have had, giving them a hard time, especially inside of the 22. The good hands of Lyndon Bailey jumping, and he does it again, but is able to be kept back by Kansas City. There's some broken tackles, and there'll be a knock on. They got kind of close. Weren't able to keep it, though.
Immediately after the match, behind the press box area for both teams and their fans. Go around the field after the match, behind the press box. Thank you.
So we get another scrum down to the Wolverines. Ball's out. They get it back off as a little switch pass there. Couldn't quite break the tackle. Now they get it out to the best. Masai Tonga. Will pass it out to Nisa. Back to Mateo Tonga. Couldn't quite offload it. There was nobody really there. And the ball goes out of bounds, and Kansas City will get another line out. Johannes Westfield going in again. Some miscommunications there from Kansas City, but looks like they got everything under control. Looks like the ball is stolen again by the Wolverines. And this will get them the knock-on penalty advantage, and there'll be a scrum to the Wolverines yet again. Quick thinking there from Lyndon Bailey. Watching where the jumper is going to go. Kansas City try to throw him for a little loop. Well, he wasn't quite going to fall for that splitter. So he decided to just jump himself, and he used those long arms to grab the ball. Now there's one of the pros to being tall. Ball's back out. It's a Latu. Latu breaks a couple tackles. Offloads it to Nisa. And they'll get a penalty for diving in. Sure, will call it back. He didn't do it on the spot. It'll be a time off. And he'll go to talk with El Capitan on the Kansas City Blues.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Elijah, but it sure seems like it's the game's getting just a little bit more sloppy towards the end now. It seems like the passes aren't as crisp. I mean, we've seen a lot of really good offloads, but it just kind of seems like the passes aren't quite as excellent as they used to be, and the lineouts are a little bit more, I'd say, tired looking. I don't know. It might just be me. I mean, what have you been saying?
I think it's mostly because this is the national championship game, and the Blues are trying to get the ball out to their good players because they need to score. In fact, they have to score if they want to even tie it up. They have to get something done. And then, of course, the Wolverines, it looks like they're not trying to just contain the ball, just like slowly irk out a win. It looks like they're still trying to score, so they're still getting down the sidelines. But also because there is that pressure that if they do turn the ball over and they score, that those negative thoughts may be going through their mind, and then bad things happen a little bit. They just need to keep their cool. Both teams need to keep their cool, and they can get something. So we'll call the penalty for the intentional knock-on. Yellow card. Intentional knock-on is a yellow card in rugby. And there'll be penalties back to the Wolverines. Pipiletti sits someone down before he goes to ground himself. Picking from Fakava. And he drops the ball. And so we'll call the knock-on. Yellow card on Owen Cicello. He has to go sit down in the sin bin now. And that's what it is called, ladies and gentlemen, in rugby. When you receive a yellow card, the place where the player goes is called the sin bin. It is a technical term.
Rather like a little timeout to go think about your misdemeanors.
Kind of like hockey in the penalty box. Except they don't have recliners in there. Scrum. Penalty offsides against blank on the Wolverines. And Kansas City will get the ball back. Quick tap. Get it to a forward. Giovanni Marquez Lopez will take it into contact. Martinez passes the ball out into Brian. Broken line there from Taylor. He raises the line, getting Martinez. Martinez cuts a spin move, jumps over a player. Now that's just some peak athleticism right there. Some superb play there from the Blues, getting him in score position. But then there's a penalty awarded. Offsides to the Wolverines. Just some big moments right here. An amazing run, amazing offload, and then right afterwards, a very unfortunate circumstance for the Kansas State Junior Blues. Pumau kicks the ball into touch. Line out for the Wolverines.
One more time after the match. Both teams and their fans come around the back of the press box for runner-up medals, championship medals, and awards presentations. Go around the field after the match behind the press box.
Game is getting close to an end. Bailey passes it out to Namani. And they get it to Matai Tonga. Matai Tonga goes down the field. Couldn't quite get the tackle. And he cuts back inside and swung out of bounds. Nice really pressure going. There will be a line out here for Kansas State Junior Blues. Now they need to get something going.
And it looks like they're setting up their forwards for a quick smash right after they receive the ball.
Stolen.
Steal it.
It's stolen by Lyndon Bailey yet again. Gets it to Prasad. Prasad takes it into contact. Now, it seems like any Kansas City line out is basically just a Wolverines line out. Wolverines have been dominating the stealing side today. Wilfa Almuth takes in the contact. Penalty, diving in the ruck, awarded to Kansas City. This is how they make up for that line out. Looks like it's on the same plane, basically. Martinez still able to make things snappy. They pass the ball out. And a nice tackle. And a good run. It looks like Hanov had a bit of a hard time there. Now it seems like everything is getting real good for the Wolverines, but here's another nice little run here from Nauer. As he takes it down, he's been pretty good at breaking through the line. Back to Marquez Lopez. Martinez. Pass goes out to Jacoby, a little chip kick. Now he kicked it to the wrong person. Matai Tonga. Chip kick over. They go back to the penalty. Offsides. There'll be a penalty awarded to Kansas City Blues. Now they have to get something going. Ball's up. Get it to Nelson. Has a nice run there. Gains her out 10 meters or so. Ball's back out. Has it out to their winger. And makes it past the 50. Now this is the slow and stay, wins the race type scenario. Here's Poley. Smeared by Lyndon Bailey. And a penalty offsides for the Wolverines. Now things are getting kind of electric in the stands. For the Wolverines, there are not very many people for them, but they are certainly making some noise. Quick tap. Pumau. Brace the line. And a nice hard tackle from Nauer. They kick it out of bounds. And that is the national championship. The the Wolverines 20-15. They get the win. They get the national championship for the Tier 2. An amazing performance from both teams. A good hard fight from Kansas City Junior Blues, the runners-up, and also the victors, the Wolverines, won by a try. And, of course, the amazing scores from Matai Tonga and Nisa. And they were able to make it up without the kicks. And, of course, Hokafonu. And also on the Kansas City, when they had a nice try from Tommy Bowen. And the number 7 Connell, who had that nice block and placed it down for a try. Some really good highlights here in these two games. In this game, just very good job from both teams. Good hard fight, lost by a try. This is what we like to see.
Yeah, we've definitely got what we came here for. This is some excellent rugby. I certainly hope that the people that are watching got what they were looking for. I mean, from the very beginning of the game, it was a tough fight. I mean, they only won by 5 points, one try. That's really, that's not a massive margin. So that's some tough fighting from both sides. I'd say that this championship is what championship should be, and that's a hard fight to the end, not a walkover, not a cakewalk. And we definitely got that. I saw some strong hitting, some strong running from both sides, lots of good contact, lots of good technique. And I'd say that I'd be proud of either team.
Yeah, both teams did a very good job. Now the trophy will be awarded to the Wolverines. Did a very good job today and in the games before, and a good comeback in their earlier game against SOC Raptors when they were down 19 and they pulled ahead. Very good tournament for them. Glad to see their hard work paid off. In any case, I'm Elijah Hall.
I'm Malachi Martin. Thank you for watching this Tier 2 championship game. Anyways, coming up right after this is the
club.
Thank you, championship game. Anyways, we've been proud to broadcast for you, and if we can, we'll broadcast for you in a bit. Anyways, we'll see you later.
I want to shout out my mom, my dad. I want to show you all my show you.